Welcome to day 8 of documenting buy time like billionaires. And if you saw yesterday, you know that I was starting a chapter about how billionaires buy time communicating one to many. And that chapter took a lot longer than I expected. Very fun, I will say that. And it was very interesting because it allowed me to learn some different psychology that several billionaires have leveraged when it comes to communicating one to many. And it's like let me say this, I'm going to break it down a lot further than what I read and what I watch myself, because if I don't, like, that chapter would be like a book within itself. And I want to make it as concise as possible and just take out all of the unnecessaries and the bones, and just leave the meat there, so people can really understand significantly, like, why it's number one important to be able to effectively communicate one to many, but to see exactly how these billionaires did it in real time, some of which we know these people, and some of the things that they communicated, we might have been right there in the audience with them. Now, whether that audience was, like, in a physical room, or on online when they announce something or communicating something. But it's like, when certain things are revealed, you can never unsee them. And it's like, I want to really break this down so that when people read this chapter and they see these different billionaires and millionaires effectively communicating one to many, I want them to be able to see exactly what they're doing, not so that they can pick them apart and hate on them, or, I know what you're doing, none of that kind of stuff, but to repeat what they're doing in their own way for them. Because I'm a firm believer that success leaves clues. And it's like, if people are getting specific results with what they're doing, and it's like a universal principle, then that means it's not, prejudice or racist, or it's only for these people or those people. Anybody can use it. And it's like, that's exactly a large part of why I even wrote this book in the first place. But specifically this chapter, I want people to really see the importance, but also the step-by-step process on how to do what these people are doing, and do it for yourself. Now, will you make $1 billion? I have no clue. Who am I to limit you to that? You might make more than they do. I don't know. And maybe $1 billion is not even something you crave, because a lot of the people that are billionaires, not all, but a lot of people that are billionaires, they just crave more, and they crave more, and they crave more. Now, there's a pro and a con to that, because sometimes people that continuously crave more, they can never arrive at a destination of peace, because it's all about the journey for them in some instances. And it's like, they just keep finding something else to need. And that's why you have so many people that are like super wealthy, but they are some of the most unhealthy, or unhappy people on the face of this earth. Now, is that most people? I'm not saying that whatsoever. I want to be clear in saying that. I'm saying that there are some people where, because they desire and they seek more, and no matter how much money they have, it's never enough, because they're seeking something else. And so often it's people who feel like no matter what they possess, they feel like they're still not enough. Whereas some people, they get to the same level of wealth, but they still aspire to do more. But it's like, their inspiration is more so to inspire other people. It's not for them to obtain, more, and to reach this status of being the richest person in the world, or the richest woman in America, or the richest man. Like, they're not doing it for that status, because there is a level of freedom that some people have when they're no longer pursuing for the sake of just pursuing, but they're pursuing for the sake of inspiring people in what's possible. And when you pursue from that perspective, you get a sense of fulfillment, and not a sense of, like, insecurity if you don't fulfill it. Because it's like, if you don't fulfill it, what's the worst thing that could happen? You still got your wealth, you still got your health, you're still inspiring people, but maybe you didn't get to where you wanted to get to, but you still helped so many other people along the way. So it's like, the worst thing that could happen is something good. And it's like, um, I want to kind of focus on that within the chapter as well. But the main thing that I want to do, because when I started writing yesterday, just for transparency, like, man, it was like 30 plus pages, and I'm like, no way can this chapter be this long. And so it took me doing a little bit more research to figure out, like, how can I condense this down? How can I shorten this but still say what I'm trying to say in this area? So today, what I am working on is continuing to shorten that chapter down. So I'm strictly giving you, if you're the reader, I'm strictly just giving you the meat and what I have learned from these different billionaires when it comes to communicating one to many, and not just giving you a lot of fluffery. But this is something that's really exciting. It's been eye-opening for me. I've learned a lot, specifically just from this chapter, and things that I can actually apply to my life in real time. And I'm really excited for you to be able to apply some of these same principles in your life so that you can not only buy time, but you can get to where you want to be financially. And it's like once you get there, you'll be able to do a lot more, help a lot of people, and experience maybe some things that you've never experienced before that you're more than deserving of. And I know it's something that maybe you desire as well. So I look forward to seeing you on the inside, and make today phenomenal, because you can decide that.